Wallpaper. Why is my camera off?
It's gone.
I know. Okay, let's do this. Hey, what are we recording?
Oh man.
Packers Bears first game of the season.
Oh, you want to?
I hate Mitch Trubisky, but I guess I will.
No, we don't have to.
I will. Oh, what's up, guys?
I kind of want to be the Browns.
Do the Browns, then F the Bears, then.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the Browns.
All right. This is supposed to be a podcast, so this is I guess, the first episode of Austin because we quit last time.
Yeah.
All right.
This is football season 1, episode 1.
Football season 1, episode 1. And we're playing Madden while we're doing this because, I don't know, we just thought it'd be fun. I guess I'll use the Saints. You doing all pro?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. All right, so football season starts today.
It's all this good?
Yeah, that's good with me.
All right.
Oh, we should have made it to the Super Bowl. That's actually a possible Super Bowl. Browns versus Saints. It's not my Super Bowl pick.
No. Not this year.
Colts? Hey, dude, he's retired. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm a Colts fan, and I'm heartbroken. Let's just put it like that. And Austin's been sending me Troy memes literally all week just to troll me. It's pathetic.
I mean, I didn't expect it at all, but I mean, I kind of understand why.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
I don't think
just
anybody expected it.
It's just all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't think anybody expected it. I don't think really he even expected it until just him probably just practicing and stuff, and I think in the back of his mind he kind of knew.
Well, here's the thing: is that, I mean, at first, I'll be honest, I was like, I was a part of the booing fan crowd, of which I know everybody's been roasting the people that booed, but it's like, I was so upset at first because I really felt like we were a contender for the first time in forever, and now we're not, and it would kind of hurt my feelings. But, dude, I can't even see my route. Let me see my route, man. Anyways, So, yeah, I mean, I was upset at first, but like the way he put it in the press conference, it's like I completely understand why he did it, because he went through 4 years of literally just a cycle where he was, trying to rehab from multiple injuries because the Colts failed to put an offensive line around him in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
And I blame that on the organization. And Kamara almost took that for a touchdown, but I blame that on the organization. And it's like, I don't blame him for retiring. He wants to have his health for the rest of his life. But I still think that, his love for football has to be in question just a little bit. I mean, I understand that the injuries added up, but I mean, someone like Peyton, who had 5 neck surgeries and came back from injury and won a Super Bowl and MVP and broke records. And I understand it's 2 different situations because, Andrew was dealing with multiple injuries. But dude, it's bothering me that my players are over there. But anyways, he's coming back from multiple injuries, so I understand why he retired. But obviously, our chances of a Super Bowl are pretty much over. Testing that user. Dude.
He should have had that. My gosh, should have had that. I was pressing why he didn't do nothing.
EA. This message is for EA. This is not a part of the podcast. This message is for EA. Why in the hell can receivers not catch passes when they're just getting tackled? It's just a tackle. I mean, anyways, Austin's user is horrible in this game, if you guys were wondering. It's garbage. But yeah, that's like the biggest news right now is Andrew Luck's retirement from the NFL. It was, like I said, heartbreaking, and Colts chances. I mean, our roster, here's the problem. We're like in this weird like purgatory like stage or kind of position where we're like, we have a good enough roster to probably still win like 7 or 8 games with Jacoby Brissett. I don't see much more than that. 7 or 8 games. That's gonna be a pick. Oh my
Oh,
god,
that was
dude!
nice.
Drew Brees airmailed that. By the way, he should retire. Um, but so, anyways, that's like we're in a bad position now. It's like, should I go mid blitz on them, guys? If you guys play Madden, mid blitz is OP. Um, so I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know because we can't tank. We have too good of a roster to tank now. Jacoby Brissett's weapons around him are just so good. That should have been a pick, but instead it was a catch. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's a bad time to be a Colts fan. It's also a bad time to be a UT fan. But we're repping our gear today because it's game day. Um, and let's see if we can actually beat Georgia Southern, which I highly doubt we can. He threw it right to my guy, by the way. That's going to be a pick six. Let me take it. Let me take it. I sixed it. So, hey, Saints this year could be pretty good. Who knows? Brass could be good too, unless Austin's using them in Madden.
So what do you think about the Colts QB situation right now?
With Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, do you think they stick with him? Do you think they trade? Do you think they? I think they stick with him throughout the season, kind of see how he does,
I
and
agree.
then maybe later next year or in the off season, just start looking at what their options are.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends, right? Because a good point that Frank Reich has made is that Jacoby Brissett has like started so much like while Andrew's been hurt. Like as far as practice is concerned, like he's been taking so many reps. So I think that's something that to be excited about as far as like him knowing the offense. But the thing is he's like Jacoby just doesn't have the weapons that Andrew Luck has, like the accuracy, the arm strength. He just doesn't have those things. So I'm not super confident in Jacoby, but I think the Colts will stick with him. Like I said, I think Jacoby's very capable of winning 7 to 8 games as the starter, maybe 9, depending. But our schedule's so hard, I just don't think 9 will happen. And the AFC South is always so close that we could end up, sneaking in maybe to try to win the AFC South. I don't predict that we will, but I still think it's a possibility. So I think you're right. I think ultimately we are going to stick with them for the moment. But there's so many good quarterbacks coming out, like Tua, Justin Herbert, and then Trevor Lawrence the year after that. I mean, so many good quarterbacks. So we'll see. I mean, I think we'll end up sticking with Jacoby, but the problem is he's in a contract year. So it's like, what do you do with the contract? And do you pay him? Because a starting quarterback in this league is demanding a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta pay your starting quarterback. So it's gonna be an interesting situation. I predict that we're gonna stick with him all year. And past that, it just depends. It can't literally make a prediction past that. I mean, I think if he goes 9-7, wins the division, he'll get
supposed to be a call out.
Yeah, it wasn't though. It's about to be another pick six. But I think if he goes 9-7, wins the division, he'll get an extension. But I don't know how I feel about paying Jacoby Brissett a lot of money to be a starter in the NFL. So I guess we'll have to see though. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Very depressed at first. I actually have some very funny videos that I should release. Like Austin said, I should post it.
Yeah,
they're pretty comical, but because like I said, I was heartbroken at first, but yeah, I'm excited for the season, man. College football today. Got some really good games.
Dude, how is Florida ranked number 8? Dude, we were talking about that at work. Dude, there's no reason for that.
All right, guys.
There's no reason for tackles.
I agree with what he's saying, but put this in my like get in my shoes for a minute. The same night Andrew Luck retires, I'm literally just driving home. Actually, driving home from Texas Roadhouse, as Austin knows, that was a horrible pass, but Austin knows that's my favorite restaurant. Me and my fiance were going out to Texas Roadhouse to eat, and I was in a good mood, right? I was like, college football's on. Florida's actually at this point they're like it's a close game, so it's like who knows? Florida might lose. And then I get this news from Adam Schefter. He's like, Andrew Luck retires. I immediately am in shock. And then I'm pissed. And then I'm like, you know what? I watched the rest of the Florida game. Florida might lose. We'll see. Florida was literally doing everything they can to let Miami win the game. They literally turned the ball over. Well, Felipe Franks throws that horrible interception at the end of the game, straight to the defender. And then Florida's defense has like 3 PI calls in a row. And Miami still can't capitalize. I was heartbroken. The same night Angela Luck retires from the NFL, literally my most hated sports organization wins their inaugural football game, in which they shouldn't have won. So, yeah, it was a bad night. Let's put it like that. That's good, by the way. 52 yards. It was good by
Yeah, I don't know Florida's schedule, but they're not going to be ranked top 10 long.
Who ranked them in the top 8? Felipe Franks is garbage, dude. He is so bad.
I don't know who does any rankings anymore. Like that person who did the QB rankings, I don't know who he
Chris
is. I don't know
Sims.
his name. I don't know, the person who came up with these college rankings. Dude, I ain't trust him. But the thing about Tennessee football is no matter like what the other team is ranked, if like it's an SEC team like Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, it's always going to be a good game.
Yeah, exactly.
Tennessee's ranked, unranked, same thing with the other team.
Because it's such a close conference, and it's funny because I was actually listening to something. I think it was a video on Colin Coward's channel, actually, our favorite sports reporter. And he had Urban Meyer on or something. He had a bunch of people on it. He had like all the Fox sports guys on talking about the football season. And somebody was talking about USC's like recruiting and how the Pac-12 has been so bad recently. It's just been so bad. And oh my, how did he not make that tackle? And he talked about how USC's like now realizing that all the talent in high school football is coming from the South, like all the talent's coming from the South. So they're doing everything they can to start recruiting like SEC schools recruit and get these like super talented, super athletic, huge guys from the South who can play football really well. And that's why another pick six. That's bad. That's bad. God, those 2 pick sixes. My defense has scored more than my offense. But anyways, it's like that's smart, man. I mean, the SEC schools, that's why they're so competitive, is because there's so much talent in the SEC, and it makes everything so interesting. But yeah, Florida being ranked number 8 in the beginning of the season was pathetic. I mean, it just shows how preseason rankings mean nothing. I mean, even with like Alabama and Clemson, we know they're going to be amazing, but who knows at the same time? Like it's such an unknown when it comes to that. I mean, it's obviously we can predict things like Clemson will most likely like go undefeated this year because there's ACC is pathetic, but you just don't know, and that's why. I mean, in my opinion, the way Florida played, I mean, depending on the other games, they could easily just move down after a win. You know what I'm saying? They could move down in the rankings. I think that's a real possibility. Because really the only reason I won that game is because Miami was so young. Like they were starting a freshman left tackle, or a true freshman left tackle, and a true freshman quarterback. That's recipe for disaster. But yeah, man, those rankings are garbage. Also, another thing I'm irritated about college football is why is Alabama allowed to schedule Duke? That's their game today. Why are they allowed? That might as well be like playing a Division II school when it comes to Alabama. It's like college football fans, we want to see them playing the top rank. Like, think about this. A game that would have been amazing today. Texas versus Alabama. That's an interesting game. Yeah. I'm still taking Alabama, but it's way better than Duke. Nobody wants to see Duke play Alabama. Literally nobody will watch the game because we all know it's going to be like 60-0.
Hey, those tickets were handed out for free that day.
Yeah, dude. It's like nobody wants to see that. And like I'm glad school like Auburn, they schedule Oregon. That's a great game. Everybody wants to see that game. And that's why College Game Day is there. It's like that's an actually intriguing game. Whereas these other games, user? Oh, it was close, though. He saw it. It was close. User alert. What's that, face mask? What? Madden, what's up with the face mask, man? Get rid of that. I don't like that. But yeah, dude, it's that's and like I understand it's good for the smaller schools to get like TV like recognition and stuff like that, and that makes the smaller schools money.
Yeah.
But still, as a fan, like I'd rather see more games, like even cut down the games by 2 games or something. I'd rather see these like big time schools play other big time schools. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
And
I
this,
would like that's the thing with the beginning of the season. That's what they do with the snap double coverage. Let's see.
use a lurk.
Ah.
Let's go.
But like with it being the first day of the season, I just don't like why. I know why some of these smaller teams to actually like just go ahead and play, so these bigger teams can get their confidence up. But and they make money. But yeah, like I said, as a fan, I'd rather have those big games at the beginning, especially first day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
Maybe the next week go ahead and bring those second teams in.
yes,
Or
that's my
spread them
point.
out throughout the year. But that's something they need to change. The teams need to get their confidence up, but still, I want to see some good games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As a college football fan, like that's my point. The beginning games of the year need to be like these big time games, and I understand like because like we're not even going to start conference play until like week 4. You know what I mean? Like some like I mean no, Tennessee won't play conference play until week 4. I don't know about some of these other teams, but I'd have to look at Alabama's schedule. So that's my point. It's like start out with some of these big games to like set the tone for these, and like you can justify your rankings at that point. Oh my gosh, Myles Garrett. Oh wow.
Wow.
This is getting ugly, guys. It's getting ugly. But anyways, like I say, it's they need to start making better. They need to start having better matchmaking for NCAA, but they want to protect teams like Alabama and Clemson in the beginning of the year so that their rankings don't look absolutely moronic when it comes out. That because it's like that's the thing. It would signify or make the playoffs more significant if they played these games earlier in the regular season because it would actually show who deserves a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Like I would be okay if Alabama, loses one game to, it was just a fluke week to like Ole Miss, but the beginning of the year they went out and they beat Texas on the road or they were at a neutral site or they beat Ohio State. It's like that win means way much more to me than that loss. So it's like if they schedule it, my point in that saying that is like it would help these teams that maybe have one bad week and they lose a game. If they actually played better teams and were able to beat them, like they would be able to show, okay, we actually do belong in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
We actually belong in that conversation rather than, this other team that like Notre Dame who schedules complete cupcakes all year and go 12-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
everybody's them up and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. Did you see that schedule?
That's what I'm saying. It's like they don't play anybody because they're – and listen, NCAA, that's another thing that irritates me. Listen, like NCAA is my favorite like sports organization. They're definitely by far my favorite thing to watch, and just because I think there's way more heart in the game. But they have to get rid of these independents, man. That is so lame that they can literally just pick and choose the teams they play. And they literally somehow Notre Dame gets all these big time schools when they're on their down slump, like USC. And I understand that's a rival, but still, it's like they need to stop allowing that, in my opinion. Should we restart this?
I'm pressing the same thing you are. It just goes to you.
That's what irritates me about this man too. Is it seems like receivers never win 50-50 balls. It's always the corners that win the 50-50. I'm actually this Saints playbook is kind of cool.
Dude, I don't like the Browns playbook at all.
Really?
Yeah.
They probably have like a lot of RPOs in it. What were you gonna say?
They do. With college, dude, like they shouldn't even come out rankings like the first 3 weeks. Like honestly, because that's gonna hype some of these fans up, which is good.
Yeah.
Like for us, but then it's just like a game comes and it's like, oh,
This
well,
is
that
not the team
sucks.
we thought.
Yeah, like Tennessee though. Oh, they need to. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to win these games. And who's their first SEC game? Is it Georgia?
It's Florida, week 4.
So if we beat Florida, if we win these first 3 games, that's a lot of high momentum coming in.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Florida, go in there, we win that game. Okay. Then what? It's Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Tell me. Okay. Say right there, we beat Florida. Okay, that's major hype right there.
Oh, yes. Our fan base would be like, championship.
You know we're doing good then.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So, I mean, like right there, like those first 3 games, I mean, we should win. And then you come out for anybody's game. Georgia, anybody's game. But having that momentum, though,
It matters a lot. It matters a lot in college football. You're definitely right about that. I mean, I hope we can do something like that. I don't see us. It really just depends, though. Like, watching the game today will matter a lot because I actually predicted the score because I'm in this, like, Dakota added me to this, like, group chat thing where we, like, predict all the college football games and stuff like that. And every week we're supposed to predict the score of the UT game because we're all UT fans. So I predicted 27-10, and I had the low. My prediction was the closest out of everybody. Like, people were predicting, like, somebody predicted like 56 to something, and I'm like, it's like, what have you seen from UT in the last couple of years to show you that we're actually going to do something like that? Like, it's not going to happen. I mean, it just depends on the day, though. Like, that's the only thing. That should have been a pick, man. That should have been number 6. It just depends on the day. How we play today will set the tone for the rest of the year, and I really, truly believe that. Actually, it's funny because I watched the BYU-Utah game. Dude, BYU's quarterback is hot garbage. They're starting a 19-year-old at quarterback. He's a true freshman. Dude, yeah, me and Dakota were watching the game. Literally, at some point, he literally just threw the ball right to the linebacker, pick 6. Not a receiver within 10 feet, dude. Not even kidding. Not a receiver within 10 feet. He's so bad. He's so bad. So hopefully we can beat BYU next week because that's who we play next week. So if we can beat BYU, and obviously we're going to beat Chattanooga. That's like the only game I'm actually confident about. Who knows, though?
Yeah, I think you're close on that prediction. What did you say, 27-10?
27-10. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't see our offense scoring more than, 27 points. But, yeah, it's just like, oh, my God.
Can't do anything.
Oh, shit, he keeps pump faking. He came out in, like, field goal block, and I'll try to run and play quickly, but Drew Brees just kept pump faking. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah, that's a close prediction. I'd probably say mine's around the same. I'd probably say they might get like 12 or 13 points. But I don't know. I think our defense is going to be better than our offense, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's why I don't see that score going up to 50, though. Like, I don't see that at all.
I mean, it just depends how the offensive line play. Our offensive line, I mean, obviously, I don't know how many of you guys are who actually watch this podcast are UT fans, but our offensive line last year was pathetic.
I mean, it can go in the 30s, but it ain't going far in the 30s.
No, it won't. And, yeah, that's why I predicted the low score. But as far as our record this year is concerned, I'm thinking my prediction right now is 6-6 with a bowl appearance. I don't know if we'll win our bowl game. I'm not going to predict that because I don't know who we're playing. But, oh, my gosh, get there. All right. But yeah, I predict we'll go 6-6. Dude, there's somebody that the coach friends with 8-4. He thinks we're going 8-4 this year. It's like we're gonna have to see something from this team to predict they're going 8-4.
Yeah, this first game we'll have to see how everybody plays. Like the first game of the season is just basically going to be based on what we do, what we need to improve for the rest of the season, and how we need to play. And I don't know if they're going to. I don't know. I don't think they'll go 8-4 would be nice, but honestly, though, like the way it needs to be is we'll be better next year than this year.
Yeah.
So on and so on. We just need to start making those good adjustments, start making those good improvements. We're going to start losing some players,
Yeah.
So we need to
Some
start
bad points.
having those backups playing and shadowing these guys and getting them in some games. Like maybe throw them in some of these, nobody games and stuff like that. Not the entire time, but let them
Scott in the
watch
game.
these guys. Like that's why
Yeah.
I'd say have a middle linebacker be like, all right, you're another middle linebacker. Watch him. Watch what he does. He's gonna play 3 downs. You're gonna play one in the second half or in this first half, and it'll go 2-2. That's how I'd start playing it in some of these games, like Chattanooga and stuff like that. And
Yeah, you
then
gotta let the young guys play.
I'd start separating it too, where it has like the linebackers coach, wide receivers coach, whatever, doing these little things like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they do, but I just want them to know. I said just saying that. I want them to say what they're going to do that in a press conference because it just makes me feel better knowing that they have it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see today. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, that's how college football is because NFL. I mean, NFL there's no rankings, right? NFL you just play the games, and NFL I hate when people talk about like this is one of my biggest pet peeves. All right, and I have a lot of pet peeves, and you guys will start to learn that. So we're playing with Austin's playing with the Browns right now. I'm not giving him any justice because he's down 25-0. But everybody's showing this stat around now with Baker. Oh, this is his record versus winning teams and his touchdown interception ratio. You know why that irritates me? Because you can be a winning team in the NFL and only beat losing teams.
Yeah.
Because the NFL is so close in competition. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. It's not like college football. In college football, that stat would matter a little bit more. But you can literally go 10-6, and your only 10 wins were against losing records or average records. So it's like, why does that stat even matter? That stat matters none to me. I understand like he has to step it up in big games, but he was a rookie last year. We act like he's a 10-year vet.
Dude, this is the thing. The hype behind him last year was so good, and at the end of the year, so good. And like before or like at their off season, it was good, and then all of a sudden, just a bunch of hate starts coming out. Makes no sense. It's just people, like he said, people want to see him to lose just because the hype was so real. I think that's so true, but
yeah,
I mean, I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, the team that they got, like, I mean, it's going to be good. They're going to beat out. They're going to beat out a lot of teams. They're going to beat the Steelers for sure. I'd say this year that'll be a good game for them, and also Ravens. Those are going to be games to watch with them, I think.
This is a fake. This has to be a fake. Dude, he's punting, man. It's the conservative move. He doesn't want to get down 50. Oh, come on, take that. But yeah, it'll be interesting because I think Steelers actually. Some people are pretty low on the Steelers. I know when we had Dakota on the podcast, he didn't think the Steelers are going to be very good this year. I don't think I agree with that.
It's going to be Browns, Steelers.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah, I agree, and it's like I don't think the Steelers will have a down year just because they're such a well-ran organization.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, I think Baker really is like super good, and I just don't think that stat really meant anything to me. It's like, who cares if he? Why does Drew Brees throw like that every time? Drew Brees does not know how to throw a drag route in Madden 20. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year to see how the Browns do. We're just all over the place today. We're just chilling, just playing some Madden, seeing how this goes. Trying to get this pod started up for the season.
How am I supposed to cover 3 guys?
But why did you drop that? It's a better question.
Dude, yeah, I'm like with the first games of the NFL. You got the Packers and the Bears. That is one way. That's how you kick off the NFL. Like
that kind of rivalry
needs to learn.
Dude, that was an airmail. Come on, Drew.
Come on, Drew. Like it's at the Bears, so. But I think I'll take Packers on that just because Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to show out. And
I'm taking. It's at the Bears.
Yeah,
I'm still going to take the Packers too, just because I really think the Packers have improved a lot on defense. I have no idea what this play is. Let's see if I can. Oh God. Oh no. Myles Garrett's so OP in this game. But yeah, I think I'm going to take the Packers too. Uh, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good year. I drafted him in fantasy last night, so actually it was Thursday night. So yeah, I want him to have a good year. Oh, you had RB, you have A. No, why? How did you drop that?
Dude, I don't know.
Madden, fix your game. That's all I'm saying. You got to fix your game. Um, but yeah, dude. I mean, it's going to be a great year in NFL. Obviously, I'm down because of the Andrew Luck announcement, but it's like it's still going to be interesting to see how some of these new AFC teams do, like the Chiefs and Charge. See how the Chargers do. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's even going to be interesting to see how some of the bad teams do. Like, I'm interested to see how the Raiders do with all this Antonio Brown business. It's just he's such a
They
goofball, man.
just released what's his name? I can't.
Who did they? I didn't hear about that.
Was it a? It was a defensive back, I think.
Really? I don't know. Gary on Conley?
Nah, I can't think of it, but yeah, they released somebody like a few days ago. Apparently nobody cared. So
I didn't hear about it. But the Bills just released LaShawn McCoy, so that's kind of interesting. He's not going to tackle him. He just didn't tackle him. He didn't get goose eggs, so I let him have a score. Saints are kind of OP in this game. Actually, not really. My offense has been garbage. I have 2 pick sixes. That's pretty much it. Dude, you're coming out in 5
yeah,
points.
dude, I do want to know how the Chargers are going to be because they were so good last year, and like nobody really talked about them. I don't think as much as they should have been.
Yeah.
So, I just want to see Patrick Mahomes do good. So.
I do too. Pick? But yeah, like I said, there's so many interesting storylines in the NFL. My preseason MVP pick was Andrew Luck. I don't think that's a very good pick anymore. Probably not a good one to bet on.
It's hard to pick those things, man, because you got so many good teams. You got so many good players. Like I wouldn't mind Baker getting it. I don't see him doing it. But I'd like to see Drew Brees get it. I think that's a better possibility. But if Baker got it, dude, Brown's organization just went up so much. Now's the right time to buy if you're looking to buy that organization.
So if I had to do a top 3 candidates, I would definitely say.
Who? I'll tell you mine right now.
I'm gonna say Saquon, not number 1 candidate. He's just in my top 3. True. You gotta put it up there, bro. You can't be letting their safeties come out and get it. All right.
Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Baker, top 3.
Really? I was gonna go Saquon, Patrick Mahomes, and Baker because of Baker's weapons. Honestly, it just depends. And I know we keep saying this, but like to see the chemistry of that team really matters because, Odell is kind of. I mean, he's kind of a diva. He really is kind of a diva. I don't want to like trigger any Browns fans out there, but I mean, you have to kind of admit that. Oh my gosh, I got burned on my route. Pick. What?
Dude, why is he?
What?
Dude, no corner does that.
No, exactly.
I could switch Saquon with Baker though, but you're right about chemistry matters. I think with him and Jarvis Landry, or with the Odell and Jarvis Landry, I think that'll be good with them together.
Yeah.
Odell, he is kind of, like you said, he's like
just
that,
he's emotional. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's so emotional.
Show it, and I hope he just plays football. Like
because he's one of the best talents we've seen if he just plays football. I hate this user at linebacker, by the way. The Saints user at linebacker is like he has to have like 66 speed. I guess it's Demario Davis. I have him in Mutt. If you guys want to play us in Mutt, hit us up. We play on Xbox though, which
look at him walking, bro. He's like trying.
But yeah, I think I'll stick with my top 3 candidates. It's such a risk to say Baker just because of the chemistry. But man, they have the weapons. It's crazy how many weapons they have.
I think with the hype that they're having right now, I think they already have a little bit of chemistry, and I think after these first few games, it'll be good chemistry. And they'll be set.
Jarvis and Odell have literally played together like their entire lives. So I mean, it's not like they're gonna. People talk about them fighting over carry. Like, well, by people I mean specifically Colin Coward fighting over touches. But I just don't see that happening. They've played together their entire lives, and so I just don't see that really happening. But so I think I'm gonna stick with Baker just because of the weapons. I mean, they have Nick Chubb, which he's projected to be like one of the best running backs this year. And then on top of that, you just add Kareem Hunt to the mix in Week 8. It's like I'm definitely taking that offense. I mean, the offense is amazing. And the reason I'm just not going to say Drew Brees is because he looks like he just fell off a little bit last year. He just didn't have as much like. I mean, I don't know. Drew Brees has amazing weapons too, and Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. But I still don't think Drew Brees is going to have as good as a year. And dude, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns last year, and Dakota made a good point. It's like you just don't do that on accident.
Yeah.
Like
I
even
think
if you're
this year he'll get 30 plus touchdowns. I think he'll keep his interceptions below 10. I don't see him getting 50, but I think
disagree
that's
with
right
that.
around the mark.
I think he's going to go over 40 and 10 plus interceptions. In fact, I'll say 12 plus interceptions. He's just the kind of quarterback that he'll take a lot of risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to be, a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers type. Like Aaron Rodgers, he obviously they have a lot of comparisons as far as arm strength is concerned. They're probably as honestly, this is probably not even that bold as far as what we've seen, especially in our lifetimes, as far as what we've seen. Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are probably the best two arm talents we've ever seen as far as how far they can throw the football with the kind of accuracy that they can throw it with. Man, guys, I'm about to blow this game. But so yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes is just. I mean, it's silly not to have him in the conversation because of the fact that he has Tyreek Hill back.
I think he'll go like 38 and 10. I think that's my prediction.
Shoot, we're just making predictions.
If he goes up to 40, definitely MVP conversation right there.
Obviously, and it depends on the team success too. I mean, that kind of stuff really didn't used to depend on team success. If you go back and look at history, like there was MVPs in multiple sports that had losing teams, but now these days it's like the winning is so much more a factor in the MVP conversation. It's kind of crazy. And it really feels kind of recent too, because I remember one year in particular in 2012 when AP went over 2,000 yards, and the MVP conversation was between him and Peyton because Peyton had such a good comeback year. And Denver, the Vikings did go to not the Super Bowl. I meant the playoffs that year. But the Broncos, I mean, people were projecting them to perhaps go to the Super Bowl, and they probably should have if their defense wasn't so bad back then. And yes, their defense was bad back then. For everybody who wants to try to refute that, their defense was garbage. But the point is that it's like I feel like these days, I think it's more people would actually have voted for Peyton just because like quarterbacks and team success today in the NFL is just like all we talk about. It's literally all we talk about. He is wide open. Not anymore.
Why do you go back like that, dude? That makes no sense.
Why do you drop wide open pass?
Dude, I mean, that's true too.
He knows what's coming. Oh.
Dude, I was right. Dude, look at all the Browns.
Golly, his defense has locked me up. The only reason I won this game is because he's thrown like 5 or 6 picks. But yeah, it's NFL is so interesting. All right, we'll just get a couple of picks. We have. Oh, that's so stupid. But anyways, if I had to pick one, this is so lame because he won it last year, but I just think the safest bet is Patrick Mahomes. Just because, like, what we saw last year is unheard of if we really think about it. I think the media always loves Patrick Mahomes and, like, his arm strength, things like that. But it really, truly is unheard of when it comes to how well he did in his inaugural season. It wasn't his rookie season, but it was his inaugural season as a starter. He should have thrown it to A. He was wide open. Throw it to him now. Oh.
Why do you do? Dude, nobody did anything.
They can't. They can't. Literally, our defenders, our receivers, they can't catch right now.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, if the Chiefs don't go to the Super Bowl this year and Patrick Mahomes gets an MVP, they're going next year. Guarantee it.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends if freaking New England's ever going to fall off the face of the planet.
Well, if the Jets beat them.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's a joke.
It seriously is. It's such a joke. Speaking of division, it's like the Bills just lost, or they chose to lose LaShawn McCoy, which makes no sense to me.
What are they doing with their franchise, bro? I can run they just need to take a look at these people's Madden Ultimate teams and hire one of those people. Like that. That's what needs to happen because they're doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see how that's ever a good idea, especially when he really hasn't. I understand he's had some injuries and stuff, but he's still, as far as what I know of the roster, he was the best running back on it. So, okay, that was not a bad user by you. I'll give you props for that. That was not a bad user. Hail Mary it is. But yeah, I'll take Patrick for MVP. As far as Super Bowl picks are concerned, I guess we'll have to do Super Bowl picks and college football playoff picks since it's the inaugural podcast of the season, episode 1, except not episode 1.
Dude,
let's go. Let's get it. So I'll take. Shoot, man, I think I will. The problem is the Chiefs' defense. They did nothing to address corner. That's so irritating to me because it's such an important position. Oh, let me take it. Ah, dang. Okay. But anyways, I'm gonna take the Chiefs versus the NFC is so difficult to predict because it's just like who do I actually think is gonna go, and it's just like I just don't know. Oh, let me think. Chiefs versus. Here, let me think about it for a minute. NFC East. Here we go. Chiefs versus Eagles. Chiefs versus Eagles. That's my picks. Chiefs versus Eagles.
Eagles ain't going. And
Eagles have one of the best rosters in the league.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think just they're way overhyped. I think they're way up here is what everybody thinks they are, but really they're a couple notches down. Just a couple, not like they're up here. They're really down here. I just think, but I think a lot of people don't talk about them, and sometimes they talk about them. So I don't know. I don't think they'll go though. They'll go playoffs, but what if Carson Wentz gets hurt again?
That's a very good point. I think that's one of the biggest question marks about the Eagles is his ability.
But if he does,
it's a good point.
Honestly, if he does, they need to start looking at quarterback picks. Honestly,
that's a bold statement by him. That's a bold statement by Austin. That's crazy.
All right, what do you think about Nick Foles and the Jags? What do you think they're going to do?
All right. Listen, let me break it down for you. Now that the Angel Luck's out, my Texans prediction is not as brutal as it was because I know when we predicted the AFC South, everybody was shocked that I said the Texans were going to win like 5 games. I know. Well, if they trade Clowny, they really will be hurting. It does hurt them. I think. Here's what I'll say. Jags will win 7 games. Colts will win. God, stupid. God, I hate this. The Colts will win. I think we'll go 8-8, just because our roster has much improved, and I think the Titans will also go 8-8, and I think the Texans will go like 10-6. God, I'm so mad. I hate it. That's what I think. I don't think Nick Foles will do much just because they have no weapons around him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got no receiver talent at all. Like, let me see. I've got my phone around here somewhere. My second phone, burner phone. All right. Let me take a look at this because I just want to break this down. They have Keenan Cole. I remember that. Keenan Cole. Let's just put it like that. I think they still have Marquise Lee. I think. They have D.D. Westbrook. bro, these guys are bumps. Like, you have to have receiver talent. Nick Foles had so much talent when he was at Philly. Let's see here. I have to get the roster pulled up. Dude, college football game starting 12 minutes, guys. 12 minutes. Let's go. Tennessee's a 25-point favorite. That's laughable. I'll take Georgia State with the points. I'll take Georgia State with the points.
All right.
That's what I'm taking. I should have had my camera like this. Camera's been horrible the whole time.
It's all right. It's all been horrible. It's all right.
So we'll get, hey, our promise to our listeners, all like 2 of you, we will get better. That includes me too. That's 1 and 2. So, all right. So you have to make your Super Bowl prediction. You can't just be like, your Super Bowl prediction, shout, and then don't make a prediction, bro.
But I don't know.
What the heck? Who does that? It's like, your prediction sucks. We're not even willing to do another prediction.
I mean, I like the Chiefs, but I don't like the Eagles.
I will give you credit though, because he's the only one. If you guys look back on our podcast, our NBA podcast, which is a majority NBA at the time, he was the only one that predicted Toronto to go to the finals. So he does get that prediction. They ended up winning the finals, so that was awesome. He is the only one, but you gotta give a prediction. You got to. We're doing college football playoff predictions too. Jacksonville was 0-4 in the preseason. That's so funny.
Didn't get 1 win. Dude, I like how they post that stat.
Breaking news. You guys are getting this breaking news from our podcast. Seahawks get Jadeveon Clowny in the trade.
Oh,
Clowny to Seahawks. Bumping down that Texans prediction. I'm saying the Texans are now going to go 9-7.
Dude, bro, that's big. That is big news.
That is.
Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, right on our podcast. We broke that before anybody broke it.
Dude, the Seahawks.
Except for ESPN.
Dude, that's good Seahawks, though. Dude, that's good for the Seahawks getting a good player like that, dude. I like that. I like that trade for them. They were definitely big winners of that one, for sure.
Depending on what they traded.
I don't care what they traded.
He says.
Trade Russ.
So, yeah. I mean, I agree. I think they did it good by that. He is an overrated pass rusher, but he's still a good pass rusher. Dude, they have Ethan Wolf on their team from us. From Tennessee. Jacksonville does. Yeah, Jacksonville's receivers are garbage. I'm bumping theirs down. I'm thinking they're going 6-10. I think Jacksonville will go 6-10. I think the Colts will go 8-8. I think the Texans will end up going 9-7, and Titans will probably go 7 or 9 or 8. It's the AFC's South is always so close. But that's crazy. Clowny to the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are contenders. I mean, seriously. I mean, with Russell Wilson at quarterback, I mean, they always have a good running game too. Seattle, definite contenders now.
With them and just the way Russell Wilson plays, I think once they're in the playoffs, dude, I think it's anybody, dude.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I like about some of these teams. Like the Seahawks, they're one of those teams.
Yeah, and you're right. You're exactly right about that. So I think Seattle's stock just went up a little bit. Obviously, when you added somebody like Clowny if he can develop as a pass rusher too, dude, he's going to be a beast. He's probably already the best like run stuffer as far as edge players are concerned in the NFL. If he can add that, pass rush to his game, it's going to be huge for him. So. Austin's not making a Super Bowl prediction, but we're going to force him. Super Bowl right now. What's your prediction?
I
you have to. The season's starting. Next week.
Yeah, on Thursday, bro. That's just one game.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it.
Okay, so instead of say Chiefs and Eagles aren't going, what's your next picks?
Chiefs and Eagles. What's your pick? I can't get my second pick before you give your first pick.
Honestly, Patriots are probably gonna go again.
Sky, I need a new podcast partner.
Dude, I'm just saying.
I need another Austin because I mean you have to get Austin. You know what I'm saying. All right, so you have to do this now, and I know Austin's not like a college football fanatic. I would say, is it fair to say you like NFL more than college football?
Oh yeah.
All right, he knows way more about And I don't honestly. If you ask me about players, like I don't keep up with all the players in college football, but college football playoffs are, dude. Me and my dad talk about college football playoffs constantly. I absolutely love college football playoffs. Um, and thank God, I remember. I'll tell a funny story real quick on the pod, real quick for all our listeners out here. So I remember one time as a kid, right? I asked because it was before the President Obama got elected in 2008, around that time, and I asked my dad. I was like, "Dad, will college football uh, ever have a playoff?" And my dad literally looks at me. He's like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think it'll ever happen." I said, "Well, could the President of the United States make it happen?" And he said he could, but he's not going to. And I was like, ah, man, I was so disappointed because as a young kid, my dad always just talked to me about why does college football not have a playoff? Now they finally do. So it's awesome. So my predictions for the college football playoff, it's kind of lame because it's kind of obvious to me. Because it was literally the exact same college football playoff as it was a couple years ago. I'm taking Alabama, obviously. I'm taking Clemson, obviously, and Oklahoma again. I think Oklahoma's offense is going to be made.
Yeah.
Now the fourth spot is kind of interesting because last year I thought it should have been Georgia. I thought it should have been Georgia last year. It wasn't Georgia. Kind of disappointing. Um, so I thought it should have been, but it was complete crap. I kind of want to go. I kind of thinking Georgia. I think Georgia could do it again. I think the East is not. I wonder who Georgia plays in the West. They don't play Alabama. She's right. Taking Browns
Nah, I don't know. I ain't playing again.
again. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say Georgia. I think Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Clemson. What do you got?
I'd agree with those picks. Georgia. If anybody's not in, I think Georgia. And then I don't know. I don't know who to replace that with though. But
It could also be, depending on the Big Ten, it could also be Ohio State and Michigan. Either one of those teams could make it.
I like Ohio State.
Ohio State
Honestly.
always drops a couple games they should win, though, dude. Every year.
Dude,
Every
that's
year.
true. They're that team,
Like
and it makes
they're
no sense.
notorious for losing games that they should not lose. Like a couple years ago, didn't they lose to Purdue one week? I'm pretty sure they lost to Purdue one time. It's like, how did you lose to Purdue? And then last year they lost to Michigan State. I'm almost positive they lost to Michigan State. Maybe it was Penn State. I'd have to look that up. But it's going to be interesting. I think I'll lock in those picks. I think Georgia will end up winning 11 games, and if they can beat Bama in the championship game, it could be interesting. So yeah, I think that's gonna be my picks. I guess you're gonna say the same picks.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Clemson all the way. I think they're
so
gonna
too.
win.
I think so
I'd
too,
rather
man.
them win than Alabama any day.
Yeah,
Any day.
yeah. I went to the same high school as their star receiver T. Higgins for like one semester, Oak Ridge High School. He is gonna be amazing, dude. He's projected top 10 NFL draft.
Really?
Top 10. He's literally. I went to the same high school as him. He's gonna make millions, dude. That's
When's he?
unreal.
Is he a senior?
He's not a senior, but he's gonna come out this year. He's eligible to come out next
Really?
year. Yeah. This year.
Dude.
So, or no, this year. He's eligible to come out this year, and he will. And then obviously Trevor Lawrence is a god. Although he didn't play that well last week or this week against Georgia Tech. He had only one touchdown and 2 picks. So,
Dang.
but their running back, dude, he went for 12 carries for 200 yards.
Well, there you go. You don't need a quarterback.
So, anyways, oh man. So we got our college football predictions in. We got our NFL predictions. Well, no, Austin hasn't made his NFL prediction. Well, what's so wrong with making a prediction? Worst thing is you're wrong. He said Patriots, by the way. Patriots AFC.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I hate for them to go, but I mean, it's gonna be one of the ones.
All right, NFC.
Dude, I don't know, man.
Dude,
Dude, it's hard. Dude, Just think about.
I'll give you some top contenders, and you think about it. Saints, Bears,
Bears,
Packers, Falcons,
no. Falcons, no, dude. Falcons,
Eagles, Cowboys.
they're definitely not the Cowboys.
Who
I'm
the
gonna
hell is
go
Cowboys?
Saints. I'm gonna go Saints.
Seahawks,
No.
Rams.
No.
Rams aren't getting this year.
I think Rams are lacking somewhere.
Yeah, they are. I think so too.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll find out in midseason though. We'll find out where they're lacking. I think so too. I think they're still young. I think they'll get back to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. It just won't be this year.
No.
It just won't be this year. Although I heard Jared Goff looked amazing in the not preseason games, but like at practice, he just looks like he has command of the offense, which is kind of cool. I mean, because like I remember watching Hard Knocks when he was a rookie, or was it? Yeah, he was a rookie that year. And he was an absolute goofball, dude. He was like such an idiot. Everybody was like, dude, you are a complete moron. But anyways, that it?
I think that's it.
We're wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up.
First podcast this season. It went well. For the most part.
I give it a C+.
Damn. It's a C+ because you wouldn't make a prediction.
No. Yeah, it's a C+. Because it's a prediction.
All right. Sunday. We'll see you guys again Sunday, right? Sunday?
All right.
Later.
All right, later.